Hello everybody, my name is Andrea Marincovich and I'm a registered dietitian. I recognize some of you from my previous presentations. Thank you for coming to my last one. Previously I discussed what vitamins are and what minerals are and the importance and the positive effects that they have in our bodies. Also that it's important to receive these aspects through food. So now that you know which foods actually contain the vitamins and minerals that you need, you have one more decision left, organic or non-organic. And being that most of the foods that contain these vitamins and minerals are found to be organic or non-organic because most of them are fruits, vegetables, or other meats. So today I'm going to discuss what is organic, also how can you tell if a product is organic or not, the positive and negative effects on both sides, and lastly, a new study that has been done on the positive and negative effects. Okay, so what is organic? According to USDA, it's a production system that is managed in accordance with the Act and regulations, and this part to site-specific conditions by integrating cultural, biological, and mechanical practices that foster cycling of resources, promote ecological balance, and conserve biodiversity. So that was a mouthful. And to be more in layman's terms, it's more simply to choose to buy organic food is to respect the land your food comes from and ensure that the land remains bountiful and even decades from now. So it's more so the environment of where you're planting goods and reusing it and being able to actually do that and not cause harm to the environment of the farm. And also initially the organic debate began as an argument about environment rather than health. So that's what it's basically about. It's not necessarily a health issue. Well, it can be. So how do you know if it's organic or not? In order to be considered organic, it has to abide by the USDA guidelines. They're pretty strict. Most use the USDA organic seal. The seal is voluntary, meaning it's not mandatory, so not every organic product has to have it, but most farms like to use it because it shows the quality of their food. So there's two different kinds. There's the 100% organic seal, and this means that products must be either completely organic or made of all organic ingredients. And then the second one you'll see right here, the USDA organic, this is more likely to be on most of the foods that you'll see. These seals must prove that they're at least 95% organic, or even the product is, or 95% of organic processes. So some of the benefits of organic food are when you purchase organic foods, you're supporting your local economy and also local farmers, which is just good in general for the area where you live. It's just good to support your local economy. They apply natural fertilizers that feed the soil and plants rather than chemical fertilizers. They spray pesticides from natural resources, also not chemical pesticides, and use beneficial insects and birds. Farmers give animals organic feed, a balanced diet, and clean conditions to prevent disease, and absolutely no hormones are added to the food. Some negatives of organic food is obviously that it's more expensive. This is pretty much the biggest aspect that people don't purchase organic food, because while sure, that tomato may be $1 more, or the spinach, or whatever aspect it is, it may be $1 more, but then when you have 10 items, 15 items in your basket, you're spending at least $15 extra. So it's hard for people to make that decision. And also, oftentimes the produce and the meats are smaller because there aren't any GMOs added to, none of the products are GMOs, so there's not genetically altered. And also, unless one goes to a specialty grocery store like Sprouts or Whole Foods, there isn't a wide variety available. Sure, when you go to a grocery store, there are some organic products, but you're not going to be able to find everything you need that in organic processes. So the benefits of non-organic food are pretty much the opposite of the negatives. Organic food is less expensive and more readily available in high quantities at the grocery store, so you can find anything you want and in large quantities, so you don't have to worry. And also, the fruits and vegetables and meats are typically larger in size, and that is because they are genetically modified. So the negatives of non-organic food. First of all, when I was doing research, one of the biggest things that I found is that this is a huge human rights issue. More so than environment, which is also a big issue, but human rights, the people that are actually going through these farms and applying these chemicals and walking around drinking the water, things of that sort, they're being exposed to herbicides and pesticides, which can be very detrimental to your health. Although, yes, there are regulations that should be applied in every single one of these farms, who's worked a job and followed every single rule? Things fall under the radar, and in the end, they have health effects due to that. Also, pesticides can remain on the food that you purchase. It's not 100% that there's pesticides for sure on your food, but you definitely can purchase something that does have a remaining chemical. They use chemical fertilizers versus natural fertilizers that can be environmentally ruinous. It pollutes the waterways, meaning when you're watering these fruits or giving water to animals, there's chemicals just because you're putting the pesticides, the water runs through and it ends up in the waterways. And lastly, farmers add antibiotics to animal feed to prevent disease. They've actually been doing this since the 1970s, and the public has known about it. This actually is known to be harmful to humans and promote the development of drug-resistant bacteria. Also, it can cause hormone-related side effects, such as early puberty in girls. So next I want to talk about this study that was done at Stanford University. They looked at 240 studies all over the world that compared organic food versus conventionally grown foods. And the reason for this study is that there hasn't really been too much research on the benefits of organic food, so they wanted to be the first to do so. The findings of this study are, also when I was doing research, the number one thing I found was that people purchased organic foods because they felt it was more nutritious. Well, in this study, they found out that organic foods are not more nutritious than traditionally grown food. And actually, 51% of those surveyed said that they purchased organic food because they felt it was more nutritious. Just because you add a pesticide to a tomato does not take away its nutritious value. So you can look at it in that way. A director of the study stated that if a person is deciding which product to buy based on health issues, there really isn't that much of a difference. Organic foods organic foods do not prevent a person from getting a foodborne illness. Out of the two different types of foods, 7% of organic foods had traces of pesticide compared to 38% of the foods conventionally grown had pesticides on them, which keep in mind that it's still in our federal guidelines, so that doesn't mean it's an overwhelming amount. Choosing organic just means that you'll be at less risk and exposure to these harmful side effects. That's basically, at the end of the day, health-wise, what it means. Okay, so now I want to have a little discussion. And I just wanted to pick people out of the audience, so don't be scared. And I'm going to ask you about your preference. Do you purchase organic or non-organic foods? Why? And after this presentation, has it altered? Or do you, if there was another aspect of your life that was different, would you purchase? Is it because something's holding you back now? So I'm going to go ahead and ask you.
Personally, I would like to buy organic, and I do buy organic all the time because I just feel it's better for the environment in general. And I feel like it's just kind of a good idea to start going down that path and making headway in that direction.
Right.
And ultimately, I think paying a little bit more for food. I mean, ultimately, food is what we eat, so we should be spending money on that kind of stuff.
Right. Enriching your body.
Yeah.
Great. And what about you right there?
I never think about it, so when I go grocery shopping, I just get whatever, I guess it's cheapest, because that's what I do end up doing. I look at the prices, but I don't ever think whether it's, am I buying organic or non-organic, so, which, I mean, I think I wanted to, start shopping where maybe, Trader Joe's and stuff, where they have more organic stuff,
Right.
because I've always believed, too, that it's supposed to be more nutritious, the studies that you found, but honestly, I just go based on the price when I go grocery shopping.
So if in the future you do have a higher paying position, would you make the decision to go for organic foods, or do you think you would still stay around the same area?
I think I would try to.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably try.
Just a little difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, well thank you. And Star, what about you?
Same thing. I try to buy organic as much as I can, but that's because I just don't really trust a lot of food things. So when I see that it's certified organic, it makes me feel a little better. But I just can't afford it. But if I could afford it,
You
all
would
the
make that
time,
decision.
I would. Yeah. I try to do the thing that you said. I actually went grocery shopping the other day, and like if it has a peel that I don't need, I tend to not buy it.
Right. Okay, great. And Alex?
I mix and match, like, not mix and match, but I'll get some organic, some non-organic. And one of the reasons why I don't go with organic on everything, like, let's say poultry, when I buy a whole chicken, it makes me really mad that it's like half the size and it's double the price.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why I just kind of pick and choose. I mostly go organic with vegetables and fruits. Purchase the meat, always go non-organic.
Right. It's understandable. As students, it's extremely difficult, especially because you're always trying to cut prices wherever you can. I mean, school is just so expensive. So don't feel bad. You can make this conscious decision later on if you choose to. And thank you for your participation. So I'm going to go through a quick quiz just to see if we retain the information from my presentation. So organic foods are more nutritious than conventionally grown foods, true or false?
False.
Organic foods contain no trace of pesticides, true or false?
False.
And lastly, as far as health benefits, one can consume either organic or non-organic foods and receive close to the same benefits. True? Yes, true. Okay, well I just wanted to thank you guys for attending my last presentation on Don't Panic, Choose Organic. I hope that today I provided you guys with some useful information that will help you out in the future to make whatever decision you choose. Are there any questions for me? No? Okay, thank you guys.